Fall in love with low prices, all in the Kroger app. Get fresh seasonal produce, lean, juicy meats, and all the best prices on all your grocery needs. We have deals on everything from fish in the seafood department to meat and cheese at the deli. Shop these deals at your local Kroger, less than 5 miles away. Or tap the screen now to download the Kroger app to save big today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Prices and product availability subject to change. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Talk about kick 'em while they're down. This week brought yet another blow for mainstream media, as if they need another blow at this time. The new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, marched into the press briefing room and announced that during this administration, there is a new day in the White House, and that new day includes communication with all media, including what she calls new media. That's personalities, that's bloggers, that's independent journalists will all have access to the White House. Listen as she makes the announcement.
With this revolutionary media approach that President Trump deployed during the campaign, the Trump White House will speak to all media outlets and personalities, not just the legacy media who are seated in this room. Because according to recent polling from Gallup, Americans' trust in mass media has fallen to a record low. Millions of Americans, especially young people, have turned from traditional television outlets and newspapers to consume their news from podcasts, blogs, social media, and other independent outlets. It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to the new media landscape in 2025.
One of the ways that they plan to adapt to the new media landscape of 2025 is by opening up the press briefing room to indie media. Let's let Karoline explain it.
Opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House.
Was that like some type of glass ceiling? Some type of old way of doing things that just came shattering down? Kind of sounds like it. See, the thing is that White House press passes are actually controlled by the White House Correspondents Association, which is like some independent organization. They represent journalists who cover the White House. So they do the credentialing, they do the issuing. So apparently the White House press secretary doesn't actually have control over issuing press passes in general. But to get around that, she is planning to sacrifice her staff space, which apparently she does have control over, or at least she believes she has. And she said that her office will be handling the applications and approvals for the new media seat, which not only grants indie media access to the briefing room, but it places them in the front. Talk about a slap in the face for those in legacy mainstream media who always thought that they were a notch above. It's like, sorry, can you all speak up for those in the front of the room? And Ms. Leavitt seems very pleased with her decision in this new direction. Listen.
It is a priority of this White House to honor the First Amendment. And it is a fact that Americans are consuming their news media from various different platforms, especially young people. And as the youngest press secretary in history, thanks to President Trump, I take great pride in opening up this room to new media voices to share the president's message with as many Americans as possible. In doing so, number one, we will ensure that outlets like yours, Axios and Breitbart, which are widely respected and viewed outlets, have an actual seat in this room every day. We also, again, encourage anybody in this country, whether you are a TikTok content creator, a blogger, a podcaster, if you are producing legitimate news content, no matter the medium, you will be allowed to apply for press credentials to this White House. And as I said earlier, our new media website is whitehouse.gov/newmedia. And so we encourage people to apply.
To apply, there's a website with a very basic form, as you can kind of see on this screen. It has about, I think, 6 questions with basic stuff: name, phone number, your social media accounts, what outlet, if any, you work for. It is very basic. In addition to that, you do have to, according to Karoline, produce news-related content. As you see here, you have to pay for your own travel to Washington, D.C., which seems like a no-brainer, but I guess they needed to throw that in there. And she did also mention that you have to be able to pass a Secret Service background check. So don't know what's involved there. If you have some, things going on your record, maybe this White House, this administration won't be as particular and strict about that as in the past, but who knows? That remains to be seen. It also remains to be seen just how diverse and just how far the range of these press passes for new media actually go. As she mentioned, the 2 outlets that were there that day were Axios and Breitbart, fairly large, known platforms. So we will have to see if it trickles on down to the independent creator, the single solo creator, the freelance journalist. We will have to see. But just having mainstream media confronted with the remarks about their declining relevance, and in many cases, their poor performance. At one point, Karoline goes on to tell them that a lot of them have been spreading misinformation and they will be called out in the future for doing so. So just having them confronted, having them humbled, if that's possible for some of them, was priceless. It was like, take cover! Truth missiles busting off from the White House! Take cover! So yeah, if indie media, or new media as they call it, actually gets a notable presence in the White House realm, if they actually get the respect that we deserve, especially many of you deserve, those of you who have been putting in work covering Washington and national politics, having to do it through secondhand information, if that actually happens, that would be what's up. So there you have it. Go, apply, be prosperous, do great things, and show out, professionally speaking. Till next time, peace.